You know those kids who make you stop mid-sentence and go, "Wait, are you sure you're twins?" Well, welcome to Knowlton's Corner, a place where biology throws curveballs, curiosity has no boundaries, and even the carnival feels like a fever dream.
You ready for this? No!
Let's talk about twins. Not the Schwarzenegger-DeVito variety. No, these twins are Allmon and Mickey. Same womb, same mama, wildly different skin tones. One's black, one's white. And that fact alone is enough to make their entire southern town lose its collective mind. Now meet Marie. She's the mother of these miraculous twins. A young black woman with dreams that stretch far beyond the waiting room of Dr. Tooth. She wants to be a teacher. She wants a degree. But for now, she settles for receptionist duties at a dentist's office where fluoride is plentiful, but ambition gets parked in the break room. Marie's married to Mike Shaughnessy, a white Irish trucker who spends more time bonding with America's highways than with his family. Theirs is a mixed-race household in a part of the South where everyone still squints suspiciously at anything that doesn't fit neatly into black or white boxes, especially when both colors appear in one family photo. After a big argument, probably one of those disagreements that start with, "We need to talk," and end with, "Pack your bags," the family moves from their polluted Northside home to Knowlton's Corner. A fresh start? Well, not quite. It's more like a change in scenery with the same old racial discomforts tagging along for the ride. And here's where the town starts buzzing. Allmon, the black twin, and Mickey, the white twin, walk into the park together. Sounds like the start of a bad joke, but in Knowlton's Corner, it's just Monday. People, especially adults, just can't help themselves. Are you two really twins? You sure got the same dad? Why's one dark and the other light? And honestly, worst of all, the smiling adults who coo over Mickey while completely ignoring Allmon, as if one twin popped out of a fairy tale and the other out of a cautionary tale. Now, you'd probably expect this imbalance to drive a wedge between the boys. But nope, Allmon and Mickey are tight. Best friends. Brothers in every way that matters. Mickey, despite his privilege by skin tone, is so fiercely loyal to his brother that he sometimes insists he's black too, claiming his father is black just to avoid drawing attention to their differences. In his own childlike way, Mickey tries to make the world simpler and fairer for both of them. Marie, meanwhile, is doing her best to hold this complicated family together. Between Mike's absence, the town's whispered questions, and her own suppressed dreams, she's stretched thin. She wants the family to look good, whatever that means. So she pushes her sons to be on their best behavior, to play nice, to play the role that society demands, even if society keeps moving the goalposts. She's been bruised by all this before. One particularly nasty encounter sticks with her. Someone, undoubtedly trying to be clever, asks if she'd slept with a black man and a white man at the same time. Charming, right? The insinuation burns her, but what can she do? This is the price society demands for not fitting into neat categories. Still, despite all that, she stays. She tolerates Mike's quirks and shortcomings because she believes in the idea of the family, even if the reality often lets her down. Now let's talk about Mike. Mike Shaughnessy is the kind of father who promises big but delivers small. A dreamer in denim. He tells the boys he'll take them to the carnival. The twins are excited, of course they are. But surprise, surprise, Mike flakes. And here's where the story drifts into the surreal. The boys go anyway. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they just dream it. The narrative slips into this dreamlike sequence that makes you question whether it's real or imagined. It's like you're standing in front of a carnival mirror, one of those weird ones that warp your reflection just enough to make you doubt what you're seeing. The ending leaves you in that same strange state. Did they experience joy or just wish for it? Did they find escape or only imagine it? And that's how Twins ends, not with a bang or a grand revelation, but with a foggy half-dream, leaving you with more questions than answers. The story I just told is Twins, the final piece in the New Yorker's 20 Under 40 fiction series from June 2010, written by C.E. Morgan. Now let's talk about this piece. I'll be honest, this story made me work. It's not that it's difficult to read. The language is spare, precise, clean. In fact, Morgan strips her prose down to the bone. No extra fluff, no decorative descriptions, just lean, deliberate sentences. But that also means you have to read carefully. Every sentence counts. Every scene matters. Short stories like this don't give you time to catch your breath. Blink and you'll miss something critical. There's also the cultural weight. The racial dynamics here are thick, layered in history, tension, and misunderstanding. The town's reaction to the twins isn't just about curiosity. It's about the discomfort of having your worldview challenged. Two boys, one black, one white, born to the same parents. That alone is enough to shatter lazy assumptions about race and belonging. And then there's Marie. She's such a compelling character. She holds this family together through sheer willpower. Her strength isn't flashy. She doesn't give speeches or fight epic battles. She just endures, day in, day out. That quiet endurance, to me, is one of the most powerful parts of the story. It's also one of the most painful. But what really fascinated me was the dynamic between Allmon and Mickey. It's rare to see sibling love portrayed so purely. In a world that insists on dividing them, they stick together. And Mickey's attempts to level the playing field, claiming he's black too, feel both innocent and impossibly sad. He's a child trying to reject a system that rewards him and punishes his brother, without fully understanding how deep that system runs. Now, about that ending, I'm still thinking about it. Did they go to the carnival or just imagine it? Is that ambiguity meant to show us how much they rely on dreams when reality fails them? Maybe it's a metaphor for escape, for joy that only exists in your head when the world around you disappoints. Morgan doesn't tell us, and maybe that's the point. Maybe the uncertainty is the answer. C.E. Morgan isn't trying to tell us a neat, polished story. She's holding up a mirror, sometimes foggy, sometimes clear, and asking us to look at race, at family, at love, at how society treats what it doesn't understand. Twins is quiet but piercing. It doesn't raise its voice, it doesn't preach, but it lingers, it stays with you. So if you're up for a short story that makes you slow down and really read, a story that plays with perception, identity, and the slipperiness of reality, then Twins is worth your time. It's a story that reminds us that sometimes what makes us uncomfortable is exactly what we need to understand. And sometimes the deepest love exists not in the way we're seen, but in how we choose to see each other. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy deep dives into literature that challenges, puzzles, and resonates. Until next time, keep reading. Hey, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. If you're interested in diving deeper into this book, I've left some links down in the description. You can use it to grab yourself a copy and keep the adventure going. And if you're in the mood for more great reads, don't go just yet. Click on one of the videos popping up right now that I think you'll love. And don't forget to give this review a like, leave a comment, or even subscribe if you'd like to see more. Every bit of support helps us grow this little community of book lovers. See you in the next one.